Hello, it is Cassandra Terry, and welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. We are grateful to have you here. It is Thankful Thursday, so gratitude is what it's all about. I've got two of my Fam Five members with me this morning, Mr. Brian Smart, Mr. Content, and our soul speaker and butterfly sanctuary producer, creator, the mastermind behind it, Mr. Eric Clark. We are grateful. We are grateful that you're here. You will continue to hear us talk about what we are grateful for today, because that's what Thursdays are all about. We should be grateful every day, but on Thursdays, we take the time to actually really, really focus on gratitude, what we're grateful for, and to bring that message and that mindset to everyone. As we're going through, good morning, Sonia. As we're going through, if you think about the things that you're grateful for, what comes to mind? What's the thing that you are most grateful for at this moment? You guys start lighting up the chats with what you're grateful for, and let's get that across all these different forms of social media. Let's get a gratitude train started. Let's start to really focus on and get our mindset focused on gratitude. As you do that, watch what happens in your body, watch what happens in your attitude. You start to feel better. Your mind shifts to prosperity and abundance and the things that you have instead of being so focused and frustrated by the things that you do not. And when you're thinking about what you have and when you're grateful and you're coming from that mindset, additionally, it opens up your creativity. You're able to really focus on solutions instead of on the problems. Every problem has a solution. And when your mindset is right, when you haven't gotten bogged down by the problem itself, you open up the opportunity for you to find the right solution for you. What works for me might not work for you, but when you open up that mindset of yours, when you come from a place of gratitude and you're focused on what you have instead of what you do not, you'll find yourself becoming more and more creative and opening up that part of your mind, and you'll think your way, feel your way, work your way out of your concerns and your issues instead of just being bogged down by them. Good morning. Let's see. I see Carnett King and Jasmine and Raphael Jorge 8555. I think I gave you too many fives. 855. No, I didn't. Welcome, you guys. I'm glad that you're here. Tamika Johnson, I see you've joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That you guys keep coming in. Today is Thankful Thursday. You're right on time. I'm just about to share the quote so that you can hear not only from me, but from Brian and Eric as well as to how the quote triggers their thinking and gets them in a place of gratitude and that positive mindset to set them up for success today and throughout their day. I see Tanya Davis. Healthy communities and thriving communities. Healthy communities are thriving communities. Getting to surprise my friend for her 50th birthday this weekend. That's what she's grateful for in this moment. That's awesome. And can you imagine how great her friend is going to feel and the gratitude that's going to come from that event being celebrated, having her friends stop and acknowledge her and that milestone birthday and being supported and celebrated. So that gratitude that she's sharing is going to keep that train will keep rolling because additional gratitude is going to spring from that. So Tanya, happy early birthday to your friend. May the event be blessed. May you guys have the time of your lives, and may she feel special and loved and know that this is just the beginning. It only gets better after 50. Trust me when I tell you. I'm 55 now, and it's a different life even from when I was 45, certainly when I was 35 and 25. All of those ages have their pros, the things, I would love to be able to spring out of bed like I did when I was 25. It take me a little bit longer now to get it going. But man, to have the wisdom and the life experience and still be healthy enough and have enough, pep in my step to keep going is something to be grateful for. So every year is a year to be grateful for. And I wish the very best to your friend and all of you guys as y'all celebrate her this weekend. Camille said, morning all. We literally just said that in our CH room this morning. What did you say, Camille? And Conchita Malone Doyle said, thankful Thursday to everyone. And she also said, wait until 60. Life is golden. I received that because I'm getting closer to it every day, Conchita. So I can, if I'm still, if I'm still moving and I still have my faculty spinning, I'm looking forward to 60 and beyond. So absolutely, I'll take that over the alternative any day. Hello, Felicia. I see you there on Instagram. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me get started with the quote for today, and then we'll spend some time listening to Eric and Eric and Brian as well. Brian is our dadpreneur, and he has a book that he wrote, and he's always talking about the importance of putting his parenting, his fatherhood first. So he's actually taking his daughter to school right now. So he joined us from the car. I don't see his video or audio right now. I can just about guarantee you he's taking her into the class. Well, there he is. He just popped back. So daddy duty number probably 50 of the morning is done, and she's in the hands of the school right now. So we've got Brian's attention back with us, but he lives what he wrote. He lives what he wrote, and he puts family first. If we're having a session like this and she's got something to say, the fam 5 quickly becomes the fam 5.5 because Bree jumps right in. But his book is the road to influence, and you guys should really check it out. It's available on Amazon, and he talks about how you can. He gives us a framework for our content and how we show up in social media, and he really helps you to think about your why. What are you trying? Why are you here? What are you trying to do? So that you're mindful of the content that you're putting out there, and the purpose that it's supposed to serve before you ever get started. So great book. I'm still working my way through it and learning every day, and I invite you guys to do the same. Brian, you should, when you get settled, I know you're driving right now, you should put the link to your book in the comments so that folks can find it if they're interested. So let's get started with our quote for today. Let me put it up there for you guys. So the thankful heart opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us. And that's by James E. Faust. The thankful heart opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us. So think about that. When your heart is grateful, when you're thankful, your eyes are opened to what's going on around you, and not just any and everything, but you're focused in, you're keyed in on your blessings, on what's working, on what you have, and not so, just like I said in the beginning, not so pulled down by the things that you don't. You can see the blessings. And when you shift your mindset to see those blessings, guess what you're going to see more of? More blessings, because they do continually surround us. Even in the midst of our difficulties, there's still blessings around us, and we can make a conscious decision to focus on those so that they can move us away sometimes from the sting of what's going on in our lives. I was talking to Eric last night, and he gave me permission to talk a little bit more about, we've hinted at it, but we haven't really talked about what he's going through right now. And he recently lost his grandmother, and Eric's grandmother is his best friend. I didn't say was, is his best friend. They had a strong bond and a strong connection, and he was fortunate enough to be able to go home and to spend some time with her. before she transitioned. So I know he's grateful for that time. I know he's grateful for her life. He's grateful for what she poured into him. And we see him sitting outside every day, and he comes and he shares his thoughts, and he's smiling and he's grounding and he's talking to us about that. I'm going to pitch it to you, Eric, in just a moment, because you can tell your story better than anyone else can, and you should. It's your story to tell. But I did want to cue it up a little bit and just give everyone a little bit of context. So we hear the love and support he gives every day. We hear the positivity that he's bringing, but only those of us that are, really close to him understand all that he's going through right now. And all is probably a stretch even for us. We're here to support him, and we know what he shares with us, but he's got that time by himself. He's got those midnight hours, and he's going through it right now. And so I wanted to ask you, Eric, to first to talk about gratitude. But additionally, I don't think you can talk about gratitude without thinking about your grandmother this morning. But your grounding and you showing up here in the midst of your grieving, give us some idea of how you're maneuvering this point in your life, and what the grounding and the showing up and anything else that you're doing for your self-care and to keep you moving. How are those things working for you? How are you doing as you go through this time? And people are giving their condolences and to you right now. You'll see them later in the comments. Lisa just says my condolences, Eric, after she said good morning to the fam five. We'll look at the other comments in a little bit, but I want to give you the mic, Eric, and you share as much or as little as you're comfortable are sharing on this Thankful Thursday.
Thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate the opportunity. How you doing, Brian? I appreciate you joining us from the car, brother. Please be safe, first and foremost. Our mind goes out to our sister Denise and Brian as well. And to see Brian just dropped off. I'm sure he needs to focus on the road. He'll be back with us. Can you hear me okay, Cassandra? Are we good with the? Okay, cool. Um, my grandmother is my best friend, continues to be. We continue to stay connected, as you mentioned. Um, Grounding is a part of that process. Praying, meditating. I heard Brother David Jones yesterday talk about meditation.
Will you explain
Will
what
you
grounding
explain what
is?
grounding is? Absolutely. The ground. And so as I'm out listening to nature, out
We lost your
processes
audio,
that I
Eric.
go through to help.
Hey, Eric, we lost your audio when you turned the camera,
Is
so
it
you're
better
just
now?
now. Yeah, you're just popping back in. So just repeat what you said.
So yeah, so are we back? Back. All right. So as you can tell, we're having a little bit of connection issues. I'm even closer. I'm not in the swing, which I'm typically in the swing, which is further out, and we're still having some connection issues. So my apologies. I'll head in after I speak. Um, but yeah, but just taking this time every day to connect, to be thankful, to continue to have that conversation and that relationship, to journal, to write, to know that you're still receiving that love and have that connection. So staying connected, celebrating the life, and not focusing on your part in the experience, which is just that loss, right? So we can acknowledge that, we can move through that pain, but I don't want to stay stuck there. So I continue to show up and do my best, right? When I need time, when I do need space, when I do need to back up and have that space and time, I take it unapologetically. I journal through it. I make sure that I'm moving through it, that I'm not getting stuck, and rely on my tribe. And so, as we talked last night, helping to move through some of the family tiffs and rifts that can appear in death, but knowing that and having faith that new bonds and um, a new strength will form out of this storm as well. So just continuing to pray, continuing to have faith, continuing to show up every day and just do the best you can, knowing that if you don't finish something today, then that's on the agenda tomorrow. So um, thank you for asking. I appreciate it, and thank you for the condolences, everybody in the audience. I appreciate it. That they're well received.
So thank you for sharing that. I know it's a very vulnerable space in your life right now. And I think it's honorable that and commendable that you're willing to share a part of your grandmother and your experience with all of us. um and but yeah, our heart definitely goes out to you, and I'm grateful for the example that you're setting. It's not, a like you said last night, you're not trying to set yourself up as the grieving guru, right? You're not trying to say this is how you do it, but you're just giving a little insight into what has worked for you, and we appreciate that. I see some more comments have come through. Conchita said earlier that Brian is a superstar, is a true superstar, and that she loves the quote. Camille said, "My heart is so grateful for who I am and all that flows to and through me every day. Always blessings on blessings." Conchita added that grounding is so healing for any situation in life, whether it be physical, spiritual, or emotional. We are created from earth, thus we need to reconnect. Very, very well said. I'm actually gonna pop that up there and let everybody take a look. Grounding is so healing for any situation in life, whether it be physical, spiritual, or emotional. We are created from earth, thus we need to reconnect. Um, Eric, I think you can still hear me. Tony Davis says, "Sending much love. What a beautiful bond with your grandmother." And Conchita offered peace and blessings to you, Eric. Um, so there's a lot of love and support for you this morning as you continue your healing journey. We are here for you. When we can't physically be there, we can definitely be here virtually and in spirit, as you honor your grandmother and figure out the new form of your relationship with her. What I really like that he said um, was that in his grounding and his journaling and his meditation, he's keeping his focus on her and not on his experience. So he's keeping his focus on the connection and the legacy more than on the loss. You know, as people, as humans, we're going to grieve, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's healthy, and we need to get that energy out of our bodies. So it doesn't mean that we don't cry. It doesn't mean that we don't question. It does not mean that we don't wish that things were different. So I'm sure that he's gone through many emotions and will continue to. But he's making a conscious decision to focus on the connection more so than the loss. And that's what we talk about every day on these different days of the week, be it Thankful Thursday. Tomorrow we talk about focus. Yesterday was Wake Up Wednesday. We talked about being intentional. And the overarching message, regardless of the day of the week, is that we have more control than we realize than we do. We can make a decision to focus our energies where we choose. And sometimes we forget that. We feel like we're subjected to our emotions and our thoughts, and we can get those under submission. We don't have to be controlled by them. It does not mean to push them down and pretend like they don't exist. I would never tell Eric, don't cry, don't grieve, don't yearn for your grandmother's physical presence. That's all a part of the process. But what he's talking about is mentally and emotionally, while he's going through that process, he's making some conscious decisions to do some things to care for himself and to help him maneuver this situation as best as he can. He's making conscious decisions. He's being mindful of his thoughts and of his emotions and working through instead of just being subjected to them. And a lot of times I think we forget we are not necessarily subjected to our thoughts and our feelings. They're valid, and you make space for them and process them and you learn from them, but you don't allow them to control you if you really want to have the life that you desire. You have to keep in the driver's seat. You stay vertically connected to your source, you stay inwardly connected to you. And between those two connections, which kind of makes a cross, between those two connections, you decide how you're going to show up every single day, every moment of every day. Life is going to keep lifing. Things are going to keep happening. We as humans are going to face struggles, but you do get to decide how you show up in that struggle, what you're bringing into the struggle. If there's family dynamics going on, there's always family dynamics going on. And when there's a loss, like a matriarch, like what Eric has faced, you lose a big part of that dynamic. And I was telling him the other night, now everyone has to shift and find their new roles and figure out how the family operates minus that physical presence. Yes, she's still spiritually connected to you all, but you have to adjust to that. Who's the matriarch now? How do things get done that she used to do? How? That's a process that the family will have to go through together and eventually get back to an equilibrium. But it's bumpy at first. And when you're going through that, people show up sometimes the worst version of themselves because they're just so overwhelmed, because they're distraught, because they're hurting. But if you can give grace to yourself and to the other people who's going through the journey and come from the mindset of everybody's doing the best that they can with this significant situation that we're all going through. They're doing the very best that they can. Even when it doesn't look like that, it looks like they're just flat out being mean, flat out being stubborn, being selfish, being all these things. That's the external manifestation of the pain that everyone's feeling. And so, in those moments, if you can step back and go, okay, everyone's doing the best that they can. It may not be the way I would do it. It may cause a little bit of temporary strife and discomfort because there's some bad stuff going on. It's temporary. The family is in chaos and disarray because the foundation's been shaken. So it has to resettle and everyone find their way. And then you come back to this homeostasis. You guys will get there, Eric. I speak that life over you and your family. And I guarantee you that you will get there. You're just in the midst of the storm. And when you're in the midst of the storm, the winds are blowing and they throw you all over the place. You're just like the tumbleweed, bouncing here, bouncing there. But know that the winds don't always blow at that level. And they're blowing you forward because of the decisions that you're making right now, because you're deciding to be mindful and to take care of yourself and to support your family through something so difficult. The wind, it feels like they're blowing you all around, but when the winds settle, you'll be farther along in your process than when you started. This too will have a gift and a blessing for you. It will. So I know it doesn't feel like it in the midst of it all, but I guarantee you your blessing is coming. Your family will be stronger and everyone will be blown forward. So you get beat up a little bit as the wind throws you around, but you're moving forward even when you don't feel like it. So blessings, brother. They are continuing to send you. Sonia said condolences. Conchita, love that you are sharing your journey, Eric. It is truly inspiring to witness your process unfold. You will emerge as pure light for someone else. Please keep sharing each week. So there you go. You're already in the midst of your own pain and trauma. You're already positively affecting your community. And what more can we ask for? What more can we ask for? But like you said, unapologetically unplug, unapologetically disconnect, put the phone up. Whatever it is that you need in any given moment to take care of yourself is the right thing for you. And everyone else just has to get on board or not. Their choice. but you need to do what you need to do for yourself. But we do appreciate you, and our hearts are definitely with you this morning. So I'm going to go back to the quote. Brian, I see you there. Hopefully you can hear me. If so, I'm going to give you the quote again, and then you can give us your thoughts. The thankful heart opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us. Go for it, Eric. I'm sorry, Brian.
Oh well, every day on this side of the grass for me it's a phenomenal day. I'm just blessed to be here, blessed to have the Fam Five rocking with me on this journey. And specifically, I got to point you out, Cassandra, because you're an amazing woman. You are the type of woman that I grew up with. You are what my mom embodied. That matriarch that you were talking about with Eric's grandmother. That one that's there lifting everybody up. That one that's there, keeping everybody in check and on point. That's what you do with us. You keep us in line. You keep us, on point. And I don't think you get your flowers enough. So I just want to give them to you like the feet in the ground flower man does so often, just to say, hey, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate what you're doing. I love this Cassandra Terry morning show. The the influence that you give, you know, like you were saying earlier, the road to influence. That influence that you give, it's is unmatched. And I don't want it to go without being said that I appreciate you. I look up to you. I'm using your energy to help keep me going. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be on these lives. I think about it all the time. You know what I really think about? I think about what what was said in our workshop last night. It's like, wow, I didn't realize you had so much gray. And then I look back over all of those videos that we've been doing over the past, I don't know, 2 months now, and I see and one is not that much, but I'm actually on video. You can see me on video, right? Like I'm 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 going back to Transformation Tuesday. That's a complete metamorphosis for me. I would have never thought in a million years you couldn't have told me that that's what I'd be doing. But because of your influence, because of your genuine heart, when you said, "Hey man, I need to see you on here," say no more. Let's do it, sis. You got it. And I've been rocking that way ever since. And I'm not stopping. I'm never gonna give it up. You remember that song? Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let you down. I can't sing, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm never gonna give this up. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that, having that one person that has helped to move me out of my comfort zone and into a space where now I feel comfortable doing this. I said it yesterday in the workshop. I used to hate doing audio and video, and now you can't keep me off of it. Like I'm looking for an opportunity to put my face on the camera. I'm looking for an opportunity to speak, and I'm thankful for that. So today, that's what I'm thankful for. Cassandra Terry, the Cassandra Terry, and the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. That's what I'm thankful for today.
Well, that's not the response I expected this morning, but I appreciate it. One of the things that we've been talking about consistently as the Fam Five is learning to accept your flowers. And when you guys look back on the video, you can probably see I was a little uncomfortable. However, I receive and appreciate the flowers, Brian. I have loved being a part of your journey. I remember hearing Tara say, "You got to get on video at some point," and that's when I realized, you know what? He's a voice. Everyone hears the voice, but no one ever sees him. And there's just a different connection, when people can see you. There's a different connection that they can make, and the whole you shows up, and we love the whole you, and we are so glad that you've made this transformation. You made it seamlessly. It started out, it was just me and Brian showed up as a kind of a guest spot on the show, And I didn't know that when he did it that first time, what we were creating. He came back the next day, and he hasn't missed a day since. I've missed some days, but Brian's been here. And then after that, I think 2 days, the rest of the Fam Five showed up, and now you have what you see as the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. The five of us, or some permeation of the five, are here, Tuesday through Friday, and I'm grateful for that. I have a support system. I have my virtual family that's holding me up, just like we're holding Eric up right now. We make a choice. Jay, we're glad to see that you were able to join us. We know you're not feeling well, so we didn't expect to see you this morning, but it's a blessing to see your face. If you want to stay, by all means, stay, Jay. But we respect that your health is more important. So if you need to rest, you definitely have our support. If you drop in and drop out and decide to get back in bed and just take care of yourself. The reason I know you don't feel well is because you don't have a tie on. No tie, no jacket. Come on, man. You done showed up like that. I didn't even know this was possible, y'all. We never see him unless he's formal. So I told him to ask his wife. I said, "Ask. I want to know, Renee, does he sleep in a suit?" So we also poke fun at each other, and just like family does.
Right.
We enjoy each other's company. There's a synergy and a love and respect amongst us, and I think it shows, and I think that's a part of what you guys are resonating with. But yeah, Conchita said, "Pray that you feel better, Jay." Paulette is giving her condolences to Eric. Tanya Davis, healthy communities or striving communities, said, Brian, you are fantastic. Let's see. Lisa said, "Thank you for being open with your journey, Eric. So many of us are taught to keep our feelings inside and not let people see that quote unquote weakness. But a thankful heart is also an open heart. So I appreciate you leading by example." Thank you for that, Lisa. That's beautifully said. Sonia said, "Love it, Brian." Sonia is family too. We've known each other for through other friends we met. And so we were always kind of on the outer circle of each other's lives. And over this last year, we've gotten on the inner circle. And I see Sonia every day, so I'm seeing her even more than the friends that connected us together. So you just never know. I also see that my actual niece Katrina is watching from Facebook. That's my traveling niece. She's who knows where she is in the world right now, but I'm glad to see that you're here, Katrina. Love you. Be safe. We are talking about gratitude and what we're thankful for. You guys, please continue to leave your comments of what you're grateful for. Sonia said, Jay, thanks for pushing through. Lisa said, oh, that was so sweet, Brian. Completely agree with you. Cassandra is an amazing woman. Um, I see all of your comments in support of Brian. I'm not going to read them all out loud because it just sounds like I'm tooting my own horn. And that does make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I see you and I appreciate the love this morning. I don't know how to be anybody but myself. And I really showed up in this space, in these spaces, because I feel like that I have a story to tell. I come from a challenged background in a lot of ways, but on the other side of that, there's been so many blessings. And I want people to look at me, to look at Eric, to look at Jay, to look at Denise, to look at Brian, and hear bits and pieces of our stories as we're comfortable sharing them. Because as we tell our story, and that's what Jay is our storytelling strategist. So he knows how to weave a tale, y'all. He knows how to tell the story, and he can do it in multiple voices. So he's an amazing talent. I'm definitely grateful to have him as a part of the Fam Five too. But the most important thing, talent aside, are the messages. Like, we want people to know we didn't just pop up and have a great life. Things happened. Things continue to happen, but we're making choices. We've created frameworks. We've based on what our experiences are and the training that we've gone through. And the idea is for somebody to take a look and go, "Oh, that sounds like what happened to me." or what's happening to me. And she made it through. He made it through. He's smiling on the other side. If he got through it, I can get through it. So that's really what it's all about. It's not so much about, we do share love and show love for one another, on and off camera, but it's really about the message and saying to everybody, whatever it is that you're going through, as long as you're going through it and you're not getting stuck in it, you're finding the strength, the energy to put one foot in front of the other, to keep going. As long as you're moving through, you're going to get to the other side. And there's goodness waiting for you on the other side. So that's really, in a nutshell, what all of our messages are from different perspectives. Camille says she's sending my love and light your way, Eric. There's a lot of messages, Eric, while you were transitioning from the outside in, that I read from different folks for you. So please check out the comments. There's a lot of love there and support for you. And I think you might have missed some of it. So Jay, the quote for the morning is, the thankful heart opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us. They're around us all the time, continually. We just have to focus on them. And that's by James E. Faust. And so if you feel up to it, brother, I'm going to mute and give you the mic, and you can share whatever you would like. Hey, there was my Dr. Seuss, Brian. I'm going to mute and give you the mic, and Jay can share whatever
I
he
love
likes.
Okay. Thank you for that Lorax introduction. Um, um, yeah, I was contemplating, to be honest, contemplating whether or not I should be here, but something moved me, and I know what it is now. And um, well, it's family, right? We become a cohesive unit, right? We're not a SWAT team, we're a family, but we are a cohesive unit. And we come into alignment with a lot of things. And something just said I should be here. And so here I am, showing up for family. And you got to excuse me because I am still not shaking this, whatever it is. But I want to read um, this verse here, and it's from the first book of Timothy. The first book of Timothy, chapter 4, verse 4. Since everything God created is good, we should not reject any of it, but receive it with thanks. For we know it is made acceptable by the word of God and prayer. And for some people, that might be a hard verse to swallow because since everything God created is good, we should not reject any of it. That means adversity, that means struggle, that means loss. God has made everything good. Excuse me. And so, even in the midst of our struggles, even in the midst of our pain, even in the midst of not feeling well, we have to understand that these are moments as that we should cherish just as much as the moments that are wonderful, amazing, great, because we may have a message in there for us, a lesson in there for us, even though we don't know it, even though we don't understand why, even if we question God, why. And as human beings, I know that we do. I've done it many times. I'm not infallible. I'm a human being, and that's where I ask for His grace. I will share this story, and I've shared it a few times before, but people know that I survived the tornado. And in that incident, in that adversity that I was experiencing following that tornado, I asked God, why? Why me? Why my family? Right? And I found out why a year later. You see, my mom was experiencing and going through stage 4 cancer for 4 years. 4 years she battled this beast. Here I was trying to come away from a battle that I had lost with this beast, or I thought I had lost. You see, my mom prayed for me that day that the tornado hit, and I believe that her prayer and my prayer allowed me to come through unscathed physically. There were some emotional scars. It was a traumatic experience, but I was there for my mother at the time she needed it the most. And on the day of her passing, I prayed for her a warrior prayer so that she could rest. And it was tough. It was tough. But she was tough for me in all my moments of need. And that knowing that made me feel like I needed to be there for her. And so the following days after the tornado, and I asked that question why, I didn't get an immediate answer. My mom always used to say, "It's not in your time, it's in His time." And so, even though in the midst of pain, in the midst of adversity, in the midst of loss, there is a message and there's a lesson. And sometimes we may not know what that lesson or message is because it's so painful in that moment. But oh my gosh, when it comes and when the message hits you, you'll know it. And after my mom's passing, I knew it. So, what I went through was not for necessarily me. Uh, and for me, I really thought that, and I still continue to think that I was meant to do that, to go through that, so that I could be there for my mom when she needed it most in a way that nobody else could, and say that warrior prayer over her. So, this is not a somber note. Please don't take it like that. It's a joyful note. In the midst of adversity, be thankful, be grateful, because you don't know what that lesson is or what it is that you are going to come away with following that adversity and that struggle. And so I struggle to get up and be here, but I'm here and now I know why. Back to you, Cassandra.
And we are so grateful and we are blessed by your share as always. We always know you're going to bring the word into the conversation because it's with you all the time. And I don't know if you remember, I don't know if it was last Thursday or a couple of Thursdays ago, but our quote was something like, be thankful for all good things. And so if it stopped right there, it sounded like we should only be grateful for the good things in our lives. But then the rest of the quote went, and because all things got you to where you are today, basically, it's all good things. So we should be grateful for it all. So that was coming back to me as you were reading the verse. Very, same thing in a different form, but the same concept. Every experience that I have had brought me to this moment. If I change one thing, I change everything. If I didn't have the experiences that I had in my life, if I didn't grow up as I did, if I didn't have the family, if I didn't have this, if I didn't have that, if I had more of this and less of that, when you start mixing up the equation, the output is going to be different. Maybe I wouldn't care so much about the human condition and people connecting with their inner voice. If I didn't go through my own struggles with looking in the mirror and liking and loving the reflection that came back to me, maybe I wouldn't be so sensitive to people who I see struggling with self doubt. But that's really for me where it is, because when we do that internal work and we really love the reflection that's looking back at us in the mirror, we're in a different headspace. We're in a different way, a different heart space, and we're in a different place to manage all of that adversity and things that come our way. We don't squander and take our blessings for granted, and we don't become overwhelmed and consumed by the difficulties of life. That work is internal, and that vertical connection. When you work on those relationships, your relationship with your source, your relationship with God, and when you work on your relationship with self, and you truly love the reflection that's coming back to you, you can be grateful for everything, because it all got you to be that reflection that's staring back at you. It's all a part of your journey, and there is goodness out of every situation. And you weren't even on this morning, Jay, when we were talking to Eric, but we shared some of his grief journey and what he's going through with his grandmother. And that is exactly what I said to him. It may be difficult to see it right now, but you have a gift that's going to come out of this experience. People are going to be blessed right now because he's modeling and sharing his journey, but there's a gift for him in this experience as well, and we don't know when that gift is going to mature, and that connection be made by Eric because it's his. So we may see things, but that real gift doesn't show up until it shows up for him, and he has that moment like what you had in that warrior prayer for your grandmother, for your mother. His connection will come, and one day we'll hear about the some of the results of this journey and what blessings have come out of it. And so a lot of people are like, y'all are crazy, y'all are just talking about you're just over positive, and you're just pretending. No, we're making a conscious decision to focus on the good in life, and that allows us to not push down and pretend like the other things don't happen, that we don't have struggles, but it arms us to deal with them and to get through them and not to be consumed by them. If you're going to be consumed by something, be consumed by your blessings. Be overwhelmed by your blessings and see how your life changes because you have that mindset. Kenneth, I see you there. Thank you so much. Greetings to you. Peace and blessings to you as well. So many of you guys have come through as I've been yakking that I haven't had the chance to properly welcome you, but all of you guys that are watching on TikTok, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for your positive energy and the hearts and such this morning. I appreciate it. Those of you who shared the live, I saw folks coming in because it was shared by others. So thank you so much for that. Um, we have a few more comments. Let's see. Tanya Davis said, I love the positivity in your show. Thank you, Tanya. You are adding to the positivity. Paulette said, I'm grateful to wake up and be clothed in my right mind, food on my table, and have a roof over my head. Also thankful for my family and teammates. Also thankful for my LinkedIn family. I am thankful for God waking me up this morning. Oh, is it a repeat? Yeah, it is. Okay. And then Lisa said, wow, it's obvious that Jay is the master storyteller. That was such a beautiful lesson. Thank you. There you go. I wish, well, Lisa, you're on LinkedIn, so you probably can see his face. Those compliments and flowers just kind of hit
There you
Jay and throw him off balance for a second, but
go. Right.
he survived it. He survived it. It kind of scathed him, but he got it. He was trying to bob and weave, but he let it land. So there you go, brother. Take your flowers. And I know because Eric, I mean, I keep saying Eric today. Eric, you're on my mind and heart. So strong this morning. But Brian said he gave me and I felt that discomfort for a moment, so I can appreciate Jay what it is that you feel in those moments. It's kind of like, but allow the love to be what it is and take it all in. David Jones says, "Good morning from Mexico." David, we don't know where you are. You somewhere in the metaverse. Who knows where you actually are, but we come and we want to join you wherever you are. So y'all, I don't know if you guys on LinkedIn have had a chance to connect with David Jones yet. You'll see his Hello LLC. You guys have got to connect. What he and his wife are doing is mind blowing. Everybody's seen, you've seen the glasses where it can get into those spaces. I took my family, we actually went to a place and we had our virtual guns. We were all suited up and we had that fully immersive experience. And I personally was freaking out in the beginning. It took my brain a little bit of time to connect to it and realize that I was safe, that there really weren't aliens firing shots at me that I needed to dodge. But it's such a fun experience, and you can do that from your phone now. And David has is just killing the metaverse game and showing us how we can show up in that space, how we can do business in that space, how we can have fun in that space. It's limitless. And so y'all connect with David Jones and see what it's like to be in Mexico but be everywhere at the same time. So welcome, David. We're glad you were with us. We are just about to wrap up. I think everyone's had the chance to share at this point. So we'll go back to the verse. The thankful heart opens your eye, our eyes to a multitude of blessings that continually surround us. The thankful heart opens our eyes to a multitude of blessings that are continually surround us. And my question to you, and the question that I hope that you will pose to yourself throughout today and every day, is what am I looking at? What am I focused on? Am I focused on the problem or am I focused on the solution? Do I see my blessings or do I see lack? You know, what am I focused on? Because what we focus on, we draw more of to ourselves. So focusing on your blessings just allows you to see more blessings because they're continually around us. They surround us all the time, but we miss them because we're overwhelmed by the things that are not going the way that we would like. If you start to be more grateful for what you do have and not focus so much on what you don't, you'll see more things to be grateful for, and you'll be in a better headspace to manage the things that need to change, to manage the things that are not working for you. So, gratitude is a way of life. Gratitude is a way to think and move through the world. Gratitude is a tool. Gratitude is multifaceted, but it affects us all in a super positive way. So I encourage you to begin your day before you even get out of bed, thinking about two or three things that you're grateful for, and at the end of every day, replay your day and think about the best things that happened to you that day, and get in the habit of looking at those things and finding what you have to be grateful for in your lives. And I assure you that you will have more of that. David said, where energy goes, it flows. Just make sure it's positive. And yes, gratitude is key. Absolutely, David. We're going to pop that one up there. I love it. Where energy goes, it flows. Just make sure it's positive. And yes, gratitude is key. So I think we will close right there, guys. We will be back tomorrow for Focus Friday, a similar conversation, and we'll talk about the using focus and the importance of focus in you creating the life that you desire. So, Eric, our hearts are with you. Go and read the comments and be loved on a little bit this morning. Jay, feel better. Hopefully, I think we're going to see you too much today because you need to rest like you told me to do when I was sick. So take your own advice, sir, and take good care of yourself so Renee doesn't have to beat you up. And Brian, hopefully you are okay and can make it through the next few hours without your little Bree. She coming back. The school gonna get out in a few hours, so just hold on. His best friend is gone to school, so he's got to fill the day without her now. But I'm sure you've got plenty to do, Mr. Content, and we will see you this afternoon at 2 Central in your workshop. So we learned a lot yesterday, and I can't wait to get back in it today. So you guys all be blessed. Have a wonderful Thursday. Be thankful and have a great day on purpose. We will see you back here tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Central for the Cassandra Terry Morning Show with the Fam 5. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.